Hello and welcome to Dear Diary. Dear Diary is a narrative series that tells the story of an African woman. It is interesting, educative and entertaining. New episodes are uploaded on Mondays. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe and share. Dear Diary, it's been quite a week. I've had a few challenging experiences, but I've also been full of energy and ideas. Though it seems like having too many ideas can sometimes hinder one's progress. Why? Because you have no idea which idea to pick. Well, I'm thinking of starting a bigger business with the money I make from my plantain chips. But that's not to talk about now. Talking about chips, I made a very big loss last week because of Uncle Jojo, Auntie Adasa's husband. He came back home earlier than usual on Tuesday, drunk and staggering as always. I've never seen him move normally. As he was struggling to find his way to his house, he mistakenly pushed my basin full of chips which I had just fried and was ready to begin packaging. Guess what? Everything went down on sand. Not a single slice of chips was saved. To make matters worse, Auntie Adasa said I should take her savings which she had at the credit union in which I had worked to cover up for the chips. How much had she saved? 900 francs. That's less than $2. That couldn't even buy the oil I had used to fry the chips. What choice did I have but to count that as a loss? I guess in business, one is bound to make a loss sometimes. As I was gathering the chips from the sand, a group of children ran into the compound and started gathering the chips. They packed as much as they could into their pockets, thanked me and ran off. We live in a neighborhood where hunger is not news, so this wasn't surprising to me at all. However, it did give me an idea. What if once every week I cooked a large meal and invited the hungry children in the neighborhood? Good idea, but where on earth will I get the money to cook for all these children? I brainstormed on it for a couple of days and decided to start a small free will donation called Fund the Food. This is how it works. Every day, people give free will donation in cash or kind, no matter how seemingly little. For instance, if you had 100 francs, that's like 20 cents, and wanted to feed the hungry, you would barely be able to feed a single child. But if in a week, 50 people each contributed 100 francs, that would amount to 5,000 francs. With these, I could cook a meal for the kids. Starting this initiative was easier than I thought. Mine is a small neighborhood, and we kind of live like a family. Everyone knows everyone, and so it's quite easy to figure out whom to trust. A few people did question my motives, but most people believed me. Some of the young girls were willing to help me do the cooking, and we decided that Sundays would be set aside for the meal. By Thursday, I had already collected 3,700 francs in cash from people of goodwill and 5 liters of vegetable oil from Manka's mom. Theirs is an exceptional family in the neighborhood. They are the richest. Some people in the neighborhood can literally kneel down while talking to Manka's parents. The creme de la creme of the neighborhood. I kept the vegetable oil in my parents' room, out of reach, in case Prosper wanted to take it for any reason. I then kept the money in one of my small pillowcases and hid it in one of my leather jackets. I didn't want to keep it where I keep my personal cash. I decided that I would go to the market on Saturday and get the things for the food. On Friday evening, I received another 750 francs from people of goodwill. When I went to take the other money where I had kept it, it was gone. I searched everywhere to no avail. I knew who had taken the money. Prosper. That was the second loss I was making in a week. I couldn't stand the shame of telling everyone that the money had gone missing. No one was going to want to contribute after this if they heard such a story. So, I covered the loss with my personal money. That night, I asked Prosper if he had taken the money. He denied it initially, but when Papa intervened, he admitted. Papa lashed out on him and gave him a slap. I think he deserved that slap. As I was contemplating the loss of that day, Ari called me. I went outside and answered the call. He said he had returned to Douala and had left my copy of his wedding invitation with Alice. I thanked him, though deep within me, I knew I would not be attending that wedding. I brought back my attention to what was important to me, the meal for the children. I decided that I was going to cook rice for them. That seemed to be the most affordable meal at the time. And besides, who hates rice? On Easter Sunday, which was yesterday, I cooked the first meal for the children. I had told their parents earlier on to send them at 2 p.m. By noon, the house was already full of excited kids, each wearing their best clothes. They chatted happily and greeted me every time I passed, an indirect reminder of why they had come. By 2 p.m., the meal was ready. Mama has more than 50 plates and spoons, so we all served the children, each in their own plate. We prayed as a family, and then the children began to eat. There were quite a number of strange faces among them, but each child had something to eat. The joy I felt when I saw those children eating is inexplicable. It's amazing how we were able to feed so many with so little. I had my own problems bothering me. The fact that I had been communicating with Ari without the knowledge of my parents, the chips Uncle Jojo had pushed down, the money Prosper had stolen, all of that. But the joy I felt overshadowed all of this. The children finished their meals, played for a few hours, and then began to leave one after the other, each one very grateful and happy that the next Sunday was going to be another day to have a very good meal. A few hours after they left, my phone rang. It was a message. I checked, and lo and behold, I had received 50,000 francs into my account. I wasn't expecting any money from anybody, and the sender's name was strange, so I didn't know what to make out of it. Initially, I thought it was a scam, so I decided to lay low. After all, if someone had mistakenly sent me money, they would probably call me later and tell me it was a mistake. A few hours passed. Few hours turned to 5 hours and 6 hours. Until Monday, nobody had called me to tell me anything. I didn't know what to make out of that money. Well, it's still there. While waiting for whoever sent it to inform me, I'm enjoying the inner peace that I have these days. Dear Diary, today, generosity is the word. Being kind and helpful to the people around me. I don't need to have much to give, and giving must not always be in cash. Little acts of love and kindness go a long way to put smiles on people's faces. Generosity creates a ripple effect. One act of generosity eventually gets to many more people.